Chatters, what is good? Today we are finally listening to 21 Pilots' new album Breach. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I've never listened to 21 Pilots in my life. I obviously know their big, massive songs, that came out. But that's about it, to be honest. I know they have a pretty loyal fan base, and I know my sister is a huge fan. She went to their past tour, and the tour before that, I believe, or maybe around COVID time. Like I said, I'm not super tapped in, so I don't really know. But yeah, everyone's been kind of raving about this, and they're like, Blake, you should listen to this. So I'm like, all right, I'll listen. But yeah, Breach. I really don't know anything besides their big songs, so I'm going into this blind. I don't know what to expect. But anyways, let's just get straight into it. We got song one, City Walls. Okay. Okay. Are they like indie rock? Or a little bit of pop? Okay. They're setting us up big time with this one. Okay.
Square up with me, I can take your right, throw a left. Pair up with me, I'ma take your right to the chest. Warpath etched in the surface. Lines of the yellow tape, they're moving quiet like a serpentine in a formation. But it acts my team pretty impatient. Now they're waiting on me. It might be the furthest we've reached. Now move it up, it's a breach.
Ooh.
With me, I can come to you. Tell me when. Pair up with me, I can run on you. In the end, I write a promise in pencil, but loyalties and pen. Use a mistake as a crooked stencil, then we trace it back again. From the mainland to the island of violence, it was the same plan for a while. Decided to send me up and rip you out of your seat. You see, in a city with no entrance, there is not a retreat. I'm wondering what you thought would happen, who you thought I would be. Was this a side swap? But did you picture this in a dream? Buckle down, this is possibly the furthest we've reached. Now move it up, it's a breach.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
My smile wraps around my head, splitting it in two. I don't have a clue how I can keep the top half glued. My smile wraps around my head, splitting it in two. I don't
Damn.
have a clue how I can keep the top half glued. I wonder where
Okay. 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 That was... Okay. Let's go back real quick. Okay, that was song 1, City Walls. Guys, at first I thought this song was called Breach, like, you know, the album name, because they kept saying Breach, and so, you know, it just kept at the end of the hook and whatnot. I don't know, I can't find it.
Now move it up, it's a breach.
But yeah, City Walls. I'm not gonna lie, this was an intriguing opener. It was huge. There were multiple parts, obviously. You know, it kind of gave me that like indie rock, or no, indie pop, alt rock, and then like a little bit of screamo rock there at the end. But not to the same extent as like, you know, typical. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good little song. And I mean, they really set us up at the beginning here. Like this. Yeah. This really, I mean, that was only a minute. I'm not gonna lie, that felt a little longer. This part, maybe you know, it's just because you're in your own head kind of thing. But I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I've never really heard them before besides their like super big songs, like, you know, Stressed Out, Heathens, those kind of songs where, you know, they're more on the pop side. I would say, at least. I mean, obviously compared to this, I feel like that's not a crazy thing to say, you know. You know, Stressed Out, Ride, Heathens, yeah, very, very, very pop kind of sounding, while also having that kind of distinctive touch from them as well, away from pop. But, you know, like, compared to this song, they're just straight, you know, pop. I mean, I feel like, you know, this was a little bit more of their spectrum, you know, the fancy. But yeah, I don't know, this one's kind of just stuck in my head already. The way the drums sound, the vocals were good. It just makes it feel like it's building up to this big event that the album is. It sounds honest in a way, like honest to their sound. Because I know this is their last album, if I'm not mistaken. People have been saying this is their last album. I'm just going off what you guys say. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt as well. But if this is, you know, the closer for them, this is a good opener that has me hooked. I'm not gonna lie. It was just a little bit jarring at first, you know, because it was all over the place. I mean, we heard 3, not beat switches, but, you know, different kind of songs in a way. I mean, there was 3 different settings within this one song. But yeah, anyways, let's get into the second song. Raw Fear. Okay.
Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever nipping heels, never slowing down. Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever gripping feels, never slowing down. You know it scares me, not stupid. You've met my fears, cause they're all regulars.
Okay.
Wait, who's the new kid? You know what kills me? Not getting stronger. Now I can't seem to sit still any longer. Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever nipping heels, never slowing down. Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever gripping feels, never slowing down.
Okay. I like that. I like the ambience instrumental.
Learning all that really matters is a slow and painful lesson. It is not pass or fail, but a poisonous progression. Try to microdose to immunity, but you'll never ever get it. And I go, what's the matter? Isn't helping you go. I wish her parents would stop yelling. I could build a
it's building up.
with the times I was pretending. Try to microdose to immunity, but I'll never see the ending. And I go, what's the matter? Isn't helping you go. I wish your parents would stop yelling. You know it scares me. Not stupid. And you go, wait, who's the new kid? And you go, not getting stronger. And now I can't seem to sit still any longer. Raw fear moves me.
Okay.
Life is just forever nipping heels, never slowing down. Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever gripping feels, never slowing down. Raw fear moves me, sounds of empty Uzis. Life is just forever nipping heels, never slowing down. Raw fear moves
Me sound okay. Okay, that was good. I'm not gonna lie. They built that up really well. I have a good little analogy, I feel like, for this song. Speaking of which, it being over. Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, the song Raw Fear, it just kind of works. Like, everything just kind of worked there. There was a little build up to it. It just hit me differently. It kind of stripped back. And you know, it like shows the fear, if you will, of anxiety, you know, this and that. Just kind of like lyrics that, you know, people can really feel, you know. It's something people can really take into their own lives, and I like that too. But I had a little analogy. This song, I guess it's not an analogy, but this song feels like it. If you guys understand this reference, like what I'm referencing, you understand. I feel like you guys would know. But this song feels like it belongs in like the FIFA soundtrack. You know what I mean? If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys know what I'm talking about. It just makes sense. But yeah, I like how raw the production feels. It almost sounds a little unfinished, but kind of on purpose. You know what I mean? It just kind of sets the tone, you know? And that build-up, that build-up really got me. Just like, I was into the song, I was vibing at the beginning, but that like little build-up, and when I started catching onto it and really enjoying the song that much more. I think this song was pretty fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. It's just fun. But yeah, I mean, the contrast with the first song, it works. It's just, it feels a little bit overwhelming. These two songs so far, especially on my first listen, it feels like overwhelming, but in a way that like I'm in control and that, you know, I can enjoy, if that makes sense. Because it's different. It's different from, I mean, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, I'm only mainly listen to like pop. And so yeah, it's overwhelming in that sense, but in a good way, and in a way I find fascinating, in a way that attaches me to the music. Because obviously I know 21 Pilots, they're, you know, a big household name. I just never have listened to the music, and if this is, you know, their sound, and what they do, you know, throughout all their albums, yeah, I definitely understand the appeal, and I understand why they're such a big group. Are they a little duo? It's a duo, right? I'm not duo. It's a duo, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I know they have that little like white like mascot like voodoo dragon looking thing, Komodo dragon thing. But that's about it. That's about it. I know. Oh, is it 3? I remember seeing a TikTok. I don't know. If you guys have any lore for me in the comments, please do let me know. And let me know if this is their last album. Seriously, I'm very curious on that. But yeah. Anyway, song 3, Drum Show. Okay. Change of pace, it sounds.
Putting on a drum show. Completed checklist for today.
Okay.
Now they have to let you out of your cage. Feeling stuck between a rock and a home. Two places you do not want to go. So he's putting on a drum show. Even now, he'll take the longer way home. Even now, he'll never ever say so. He drives fast just to feel it. He drives slow if his song's not over. Drown it out. Show. He'd rather feel something than nothing at all, so he swerves all around as his head starts to fall, turns it up. Stuck between a rock
Okay.
and a home. Two places he does not want to go. So he's putting on a drum show. Even now, he'll take the longer way home. Even now, he'll never ever say so. He drives fast just to feel it. He drives slow if his song's not over. Drown it out.
Okay. This is more alty sounding.
I want to change. I've been this way. I want to.
Little screamo.
He's putting on a drum show. Even now, he'll take the longer way home. Even now, he'll never ever say so. He drives fast just to feel it. He drives slow if his song's not over. Drown it out.
Damn. Okay, that was Drum Show. Yeah, see, when I thought of 21 Pilots, besides their big, hits that I've heard, this is kind of what I think of, right? A little bit more alty, a little bit more, drums heavy, this and that. Just a little more rock based in a way, alt indie, just that kind of sound. But yeah, I like this. This was a cool change of pace. And I mean, the drums, it was a drum show. That's for sure. It was a drum show. But yeah, it might not have been like the immediate punch I kind of felt in the other two, but this is definitely, this just isn't stuff I typically listen to, right? And so I like it. I'll be the first one to say I like it. I'm just intrigued because we heard 3 different sounds throughout the first song. There was a couple switches here and there. The second was different as well in its own sense, but then this one was a complete different change of pace. And so, you know, it's been a little bit of everything so far, right? And I mean, if this is like, this is the closing album, this is where, you know, the 21 Pilots chapter ends. I mean, if they're kind of going, you know, a little bit of every which way with it, I totally see it. I think it's a closing fit to, you know, something that is ending their story. But yeah, I liked it. It's just not something I typically have listened to. But yeah, I definitely like it. I definitely like it so far. It's been good. It's been good. Anyway, song 4, Garbage. Okay. I like it. Damn.
Maybe this is you. Maybe you don't fix and you like it like this.
Something to think about. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. With that one not being as flashy, you know, I feel like this one was lighter on the surface, but I definitely think this one had the heaviest lyrics of the bunch so far. I mean, I feel like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but I feel the tension between, you know, the upbeat, dark, instrumental in a way, and then the kind of, you know, darker themes that we see. Feeling like Garbage. I guess it's not necessarily dark, but you guys, I feel like you guys get what I'm saying. You know, when you move closer, I grew quiet, or, you know, just the kind of change and whatnot. Yeah, like what I said, this song is thought provoking. It makes you think. And it's especially made me think, you know, right here where we're just listening to the instrumental. And yeah, it's one of those things. It makes you think while it still is catchy. It's still clever in that sense. The only thing you think, I feel like with a song like this might be a hot take when I say this, but I feel like I feel like with songs like these, where it's kind of, you know, maybe a little more upbeat, heavier lyrics, heavy, like a little more emotional, pulls on your emotional strings. I feel like I personally like songs where it's a little less unpolished, in the sense that, you know, it kind of shows the rough around the edges. And this one just felt super polished, you know, and that's a good thing as well. Like, obviously it's good in its own sense, but that's just my own personal, like, kind of feelings about these songs. And you know, that goes for anyone, that goes for any artist. um but yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like it just kind of adds another surface to, you know, something that's depicted, you know, upbeat, but also something that can carry heavy emotional themes. But I like it. I do like it. Garbage. Anyway, song 5, The Contract. Okay. Instrumental.
I check the doors, check the windows, and pull the blinds. I check the clock, wondering what he'll pull this time. I have a feeling that necromancer's outside, and I'm just trying to stay quiet. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How'd you know that? I keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that. Ooh, promises and contracts I used to keep. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How'd you know that? I keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that.
I like this. Okay. Damn. Whoa. They... Okay, real quick. I don't typically pause during songs, but since, you know, it's just kind of going through the instrumental. That was a crazy flow. I like the way they went back and forth at the start there, and then it kind of just looped into one whole thing. That was a crazy verse. I'm not gonna lie, that was a crazy, crazy verse. It caught me off guard. I did not know they had that in their bag. And is it a duo or is it 3 or 4? I'm not sure. I don't know. Damn. Damn. I like the beat a lot too. I have a feeling that necromancer's outside, and I'm just trying to stay quiet. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How did you know that? I keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that. Ooh, promises and contracts I used to keep. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How you know that? I keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that. Damn. Contract. Damn. That one right there. The Contract. That's a little dark and intense. I feel like there was a little bit of Paranoia in there, especially at the beginning for me, but kind of as we eased into it, it just made especially with the lyrics being so vivid, it's just super bold. And it's pretty chaotic in spots. But that's kind of what excited me there. And I'm not gonna lie, that verse was crazy. Oh my gosh, where'd it begin? Yeah, it's about. Damn! Real quick, those are two different people, right? I wasn't just saying that when I said they went, it went from one to another. I don't think I'm wrong, at least there. But you guys would know better than me, the viewers. But yeah, that was a crazy, crazy flow. I'm not gonna lie, that was a crazy when they. Ooh. How'd you know that? Ugh! That was fire. I'm not gonna lie, that caught me really off guard, but I like that a lot. That was actually pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, this song might be my favorite of the bunch so far. I will not lie. And this one, just like after this one, I'm low-key just like kind of fiending for some more. Like really, that's the best way I can describe this song. Is like, damn, I didn't know they had that up there in their bag. That was crazy. Damn. Oh, that was a good song right there. The Contract, man. Wow. Promised you a contract. Damn. Good song. That was my favorite of the bunch. Song 6, Downstairs. A little bit slower. Well, definitely so far. Okay. Okay. A little more reflective? Damn.
get some shelter from the weather I wear. All of my heart on my sleeve. I'll take what I believe and I'm hiding it down.
Damn, bro.
I feel better in the cellar down
There.
Get some shelter from the weather I wear. All of my heart on my sleeve. I'll take what I believe and I'm hiding it downstairs. I feel better in the cellar down there. Get some shelter from the weather I wear. All of my heart on my sleeve. I'll take what I believe and I'm hiding it.
Damn.
You can have all I've made and all I've ever known. You can have both my lungs if you ask me so. 'Cause I want to be the one after your own heart. And I might doubt the process like
Damn.
I doubt the start.
Wow. Okay. That was song 6, Downstairs. At first I kind of said this is a nice breather. It kind of sounded like a ballad at first, you know. It was a little bit slower, a little more reflective at the beginning, and then it kind of shifted into that quicker pace, especially towards, you know, the latter half, the mid, you know, kind of changed around the mid section, I would say, give or take. But for me, what really kind of shined there, alongside with the production, I haven't even touched up on the production. The production's been fantastic. Do they produce their own music? But the vocals really shined, to be honest. That was kind of my, like, damn. Like, with that one, everything just kind of, it felt like a puzzle. You know, there was 4 pieces left. You know, the lyrics, the vocals, the beat, you know, the sound, just how it sounded, just all fit together perfectly in there, to be honest, with Downstairs. And, you know, it switched a little bit towards the end, or towards the mid, like I was saying. And yeah, that caught me off guard too, because especially after, you know, the contract where, and even like Garbage Drum Show, where everything was kind of a little more upbeat, a little faster, especially in the sense of like comparing to the first 2 songs, which I know those, not saying those weren't upbeat or anything, because they were, but you know, I was just expecting that, you know, kind of change of pace in there a little bit, and it had that, and then turned into something else, which I liked as well. It just, after so many high tracks, that one gave me the time to kind of like feel the emotions, feel, you know, the energy and whatnot that is portrayed within the song, and kind of reflect on that song as well as the other ones all at the same time. And so I like that. It just gives me a glimpse of everything a little bit. So like I said, I like that song a lot. Anyways, we have song 7, Robot Voices. Okay.
And machines in my room, and understanding the beeps and tones they make. The only advice I take, the inside jokes are landing. Now I'm waiting for the changes everyone sees, feeling so fancy, and I just wanna dance.
Okay, well,
Casting lines on the floor as my metal friend flashes in time. A daisy chain power strips generating a newfound loneliness, so I'm waiting for the changes everyone sees, feeling so fancy. And I just wanna dance in style and stay a while. The lines on the floor. How did you find me? I wasn't looking for love this year, but my robot told me that I shouldn't fear. When I met you, I found you safe
damn, warm.
and the robot voices would reassure me. I wasn't looking for love this year.
Damn.
Told me that I shouldn't fear. When I met you, I found you safe and warm, and the robot voices would reassure me. When I met you, I found you safe and warm, and the robot voices would reassure me.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that was Robot Voices. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. They've been doing their thing with this one. I'm not gonna lie. This song was really good. And it was a little bit different too at the same time. And so I like that, especially when, you know, if this is really their concluding chapter and this is how it ends, you know, doing it, like I said, I know I've said this, but going every which way, it just makes the album more interesting, and just kind of isolated in itself. And I mean that because like the electronic elements we heard in this gave me that kind of eerie, isolated feeling, but still added that like kind of beautiful sound that we've heard throughout all the album. For me, this song right here, it was good, but it's not like, maybe because it's not as, you know, fast paced or upbeat as some of the ones that we've heard. It just feels like, to me, this one right here, Robot Voices, it's like one of those songs that doesn't hit you as immediately, but it's one of those songs that just kind of lingers with you over time, and you're like thinking back. And this is one of those songs that you know, grow to appreciate more and more and more as you listen. Because yeah, like I said, not super as upbeat, as pacey. It doesn't like stick out as much. I still think it's a fantastic song. But I think it's one that I'll think back on when I, you know, listen to this album again, or, you know, whatever it may be. If I'm just thinking about it, you know, it'll be that one that just kind of sits with me a little bit differently. But yeah, I like that one a lot. But anyways, we got song 8 coming up. That one, it's kind of really easy to like, you know, hear the loud sounds, the drums, you know, this and that. Great vocals too. Slept on, I feel like. Because but yeah, this one had a real groove, but I feel like it's easy to kind of undermine the lyrics in this sense, especially because there is a lot of things going on. And you know, you're hearing multiple sounds, but like I said, it's easy to undermine. But that doesn't take away from how deep, you know, their songs can really be. And I like the little build up too. I'm not gonna lie, when they started going crazy, I was not expecting that little build up around the, you know, latter half of the, because you know, it was still, you know, upbeat, not the fastest pace we've heard, you know, so far in the album. But then it kind of turns into this like slow ballad for literally like 5 seconds, and then just goes all out. And I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to turn into something else, especially when, you know, like I just said, there's a lot of emotions tied to this one. I feel like, you know, I might be speaking for myself when I say that, but yeah, I mean, this one kind of just does it for me. It has a little bit of everything that I've liked so far throughout this album, throughout my experience with 21 Pilots so far. It had a real groove. The build up was good. It wasn't what I was expecting either. I feel like it's easy to kind of expect those things, But I thought it really was going to turn into that slower ballad, you know, that we've heard kind of a little bit in like songs like Downstairs and whatnot. But yeah, it's one of those songs, one of those tracks you kind of just nod along to, you know, take it all in without even kind of realizing it. It was familiar kind of in some ways that we've seen throughout the album, but it differentiates itself, and it was very well executed. Very well executed. I like this one. Song 8, Cottonwood. 9, I think, actually.
Can't believe you're gone for good. Someone chopped you down. Thought you just fall in the woods, but she heard that sound. No, I don't remember last we spoke. No, I don't remember. I look back in time through a telescope. I've been catching my reflection already looking. Most are blown down in a storm, but the wind was tame. You weren't waiting anymore.
Got me in my head.
Sad or brave? No, I don't condemn you. Back and forth. No, I don't condemn you. I look back in time through a telescope. I've been catching my
Damn.
reflection already looking. You tore me up more than you know. You tore me up more than you know. You tore me up more than you know. You tore me up. I look back in time through a telescope.
Damn.
I've been catching my reflection already looking.
Okay. That was the slow burn. See, I know I've said that about a couple slower ballads, but this was definitely the slowest burn of them all. And it's crazy because I was just talking about, you know, kind of undermining those heavier lyrics in a way. But this one, you know, was just much calmer, and just felt like super introspective. This one, Cottonwood, just felt super introspective. It feels kind of like when I see this in an album, because we are entering that kind of latter half of the album, Cottonwood, that just feels like kind of a moment to breathe before what is to come. So that always gets me when albums do that kind of thing, especially after having a little bit different pacing. You know, I only get more anticipated and excited for what's to come, but that doesn't take away from Cottonwood as well. I feel it's a good dip in energy, but I just think it's needed. Honestly, I think it's needed, and I think they did it very well right there. But yeah, we're entering the last. I think this is song 10, so I think we have what, 4 songs left. I think it's 13, if I'm not mistaken. We have 4 songs left, including this. We're on track 10. One way. But yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of this album.
Can I take back who I was before? If it's no, then all my dreams have not been interesting in a while. This has not been interesting in a while. Wow, wow, I wanted to fly.
Damn.
But they say a system's coming in. The chances are high. Then this is a one way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Me and my scene just ain't gelling. Someone next to me keeps yelling. Why am I still walking? Something must be wrong here. I just don't belong here. I wanted to fly, but they say a system's coming in. Chances are high. Then this is a one way, one way, one way, one way, one. I wanted to fly, but they say a system's coming in. The chances are high. Then this is a one way, one way, one. Then this is a one way, one way, one. Then this is a
One way, one way.
Hey, it's Josh. Call me back. I'm not opposed to one way going into Days Lie Dormant, but it does feel like quite a vibe change, and
Okay, that was One Way by 21 Pilots. Okay, this track was short, a little bit shorter than the rest. Obviously, you know, it was only 2 minutes 40 seconds, and it feeds into the next track, Days Lie Dormant. I feel like that's a perfect setting, and the transition from One Way to Days Lie Dormant was a good transition. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I kind of only look at the lyrics when I make these videos rather than the time, and I didn't, you know, catch that it was, you know, clocking down, ticking down right to the last second. But it hit me like a quick burst of energy, maybe because, like I said, that's the pace, and it being shorter, it, you know, might just do that naturally. But it was quick, sharp, kind of right to the point. The way the beat kind of fades or drops in, and then I don't think it's Josh. I don't know the other guy's name. I think it's 2, right? Or 3. I'm blanking on it because I think I'm able to, you know, separate Josh's voice. But they kind of just go for it, and it makes it feel like a palate cleanser in a way, and also a statement as well. It's just like, it doesn't, like, this track could be considered to some as like a throwaway or a quick like filler, but to me it was not. I think there was no detours. It was one of those songs that's just kind of like over before you're ready, and just makes me want to replay it more, if that makes sense. If that makes sense at all. But yeah, and it fades into Days Lie Dormant. I hate, that's why there's a little cut in this video, because I hate like ending off the transition into the next track. I hate doing that. And so I try and find like the right point for it, but we're gonna go back a little bit and, you know, kind of just listen to it one more time.
Hey, it's Josh. Call me back.
Hello.
I'm not opposed to One Way going into Days Lie Dormant, but it does feel like quite a vibe change, and
See, that was good.
waste time in a city where no one knows your name. My days lie dormant, 'cause I just can't afford it to waste my time inside a place you're not. Don't make me waste my love, it's everything I've got. You say don't worry about me though, it looks so much warmer there, and I should try Topo Chico and get some more sun.
Me too.
But you say with your face something else altogether. My days lie dormant, 'cause I just can't afford it to waste time in a city where no one knows your name. My days lie dormant, 'cause I just can't afford it to waste my time inside a place you're not. Don't make me waste my love, it's everything I've got.
Okay.
My days lie dormant, frozen and distorted, robbed of my momentum and suspended in the air. My days lie dormant, it's feeling less important to waste my time inside a place you're not. Don't make me waste my love, it's everything I've got. I just can't afford it to waste time in a city where no one knows your name. My days lie dormant, I just can't afford it to waste my time inside a place you're not. Don't make me waste my love, it's everything I've got.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. That one was captivating. I feel like just from the moment, it kind of settles in. And maybe the, transition from One Way to this song kind of, sets that tone. And, just sets it that way in general, right? But this one just feels like an anthem a little bit. And just a build that pays off. It there's a mix of that post-punk guitar sounds, pulsing rhythms. It all just really works together. It feels, I mean this as a compliment when I say this, but it feels overproduced, if that makes sense. And I like it. Like I said, I feel like it's really anthemy to me. And the motion still lands, which I've, talked about in, at least half the songs. But this might be my favorite track so far. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's been a long listen. I know Raw Fear, I really enjoyed that one too. But this one's up there for me. Catchy, like I said, anthem sounding. Those are some of my favorite songs. Yeah, and I mean, you can't beat the transition either. So it literally just has a little bit of everything that I love when it comes to, music. But yeah. Anyways, we're on to song 12. Tally. I like the instrumental.
I lost my rank and title, I turned my back on it, sold it all at a discount. I wanted to progress things, I wanted my soul set free, lost it all at a discount. You and I both know just how this story goes, we've seen it several times. It's kinda hard to know, is there a point at all, or should we cut the line?
Damn.
You wanna tally, I lost account. You wanna love me, I let you down. Still now, you believe in me somehow. strike on cue.
Okay.
Right when a storm hits, I set right set circumstantial proof. You should go your way, I should try mine. Even though we both know we should just cut the line. You wanna tally, I lost the count. You wanna love me, I let you down. Still now, you believe in me somehow. When I replay it in my mind, I see your heart break every time. Still now, you believe in me somehow.
Damn. What are they gonna do here?
Somehow, I figured you were keeping track of every time. Just figured you were keeping track of every time. I let you down, I breached your trust, I let you die. Just figured you were keeping track.
Damn. Down. Damn. I like this instrumental a lot. Very fun. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That, I know I've said this for 3 different songs now, but that may have been my favorite. It's hard. But with an instrumental like that and just literally just everything flowing and working together, I think that was some of the best flow I've heard on this album so far. The instrumental to me was probably my favorite. I know it may just be recency bias, you know, who knows in, 3 days. But as of right now, I really did like that. That was one of the most enjoyable tracks for me. But yeah, I mean, in the sense of the album, though, I feel like it's kind of setting up the ending. It has those little reflective moments, and I feel like it's just kind of like helping string everything together, tie it up. I know we have 1 song left, so that might do it as well. Maybe it's just a little psychology thing. But to me, that one just kind of stood out on its own. It makes the album kind of flow just so much better. And I like when, because albums obviously, have tracks that, are meant to make the whole album kind of flow and work and, make sense. And I feel like this is also one of those songs, but it also is one I could hear all over the radio or all over TikTok. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, we're finally getting to that last song though. I'm a little nervous. It's a little bittersweet because if this really is their last project and this is where, my journey with them begins, it's just interesting going from, hearing their last work as your first to, going to explore the rest. And if you guys want me to listen to the rest of 21 Pilot's discography, please do let me know. I'm definitely up for that. I'm curious as to what else they have in their, their art in their discography. But yeah, we're finally on to that last song, song 13, Intentions. Well, this one's a short one.
I am starting it all once again. Did I learn a thing? Intentions are everything. Intentions will set you free. You will fail most every day, every way. Did you learn a thing? Intentions lack memory.
Damn.
Intentions will set you free. Just try to be.
Damn. That was the closer, Intentions, for 21 Pilots' album Breach. I like that closer a lot. I love when albums don't have, you know, a song necessarily as their closer. I mean, to be honest, this won't get the most replay value out of me. Except I do have something to say about that. This really reminds me of the ending of, yes, not similar album, but it has a similar kind of ending in the sense to that of The Weeknd's Dawn FM. If you guys are familiar with that album, you will probably kind of know what I'm talking about. It's called Phantom Regret by Jim Carrey. And basically he just kind of has this like philosophical, you know, kind of outlook to life, and it's just a perfect closer for that album. And I feel the same exact way about this one. And I still listen to that closer on Dawn FM by The Weeknd to this day. It genuinely has impacted my life. And I love, that's just leading me to this. I love these kind of closers that isn't necessarily a song. And if this really is the end of their journey, it is super, super bittersweet. Super bittersweet. It's super intimate and reflective, just kind of, you know, looking back on everything we've heard, you know, adding some stuff that we can take into our own personal life about it. And I mean, it feels kind of a callback as well to Truce by Vessel. If you guys know, then you know what I'm talking about as well, which is a cool touch. But it leaves me in a state of, like, you know, bittersweet, you know, sad a little bit, but also satisfied. It also gives me the feeling, though, because that's why I'm asking, is this really their last? Because it's giving me the feeling that, like, the story, or maybe even the chapter's over, but not kind of like completely resolved, and leaves me hopeful for what else is to come, if there is anything to come. And obviously for, you know, the 21 Pilot fan watching, I hope there obviously is more to come for both of us, because I would love to experience, you know, another new album from them. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a ride, and no pun intended to that one big hit they have, right? But oh, where am I? Oh, it is two. It's Josh and Tyler. Josh Dunn. I know Josh Dunn. I've heard the name. And if I see Tyler's last name, I might know. But yeah, that was Breach, by 21 Pilots. I mean, listening to Breach all the way through just kind of felt like, you know, a story in a way. You know, you see pages of highs, you see pages of emotional lows in a way, a little bit of like unexpected turns, you know, throughout the songs. And I mean, it's kind of has this big kind of like massive cinematic kind of opener, and then there's like the stripped back moments, and then there's, you know, a little more experimental, you know, it's a little bit different. Every song is a little bit different. And you know, like I've alluded to or I've said in the past couple of songs, especially earlier in the album, it's going every which way. And so I like that a lot as well. You know, it was a little bit, it just shows range. And I enjoy that, especially with established artists when they do that kind of thing, where you know, they don't stick to like one set sound. But yeah, a better way to kind of describe it, to like simpler, is just like every song kind of opened a new door, right? Some were spooky, some were bright, some were dark, some, you know, had those emotional themes, right? And a few just felt like it was that kind of interlude sound with like breathing, like time to breathe between, you know, some of the hard hitters. But yeah, I mean, everything was obviously intentional. Everything was well felt. Everything was well said. Even like the shorter, punchier tracks to me, like One Way, served a purpose in the bigger scheme of the album. And if this is their closer, right? It has a little burst of clarity, but it's between, the more heavy layered songs. And yeah, it feels like they're kind of connecting the dots a little bit. And I hope they have somewhere to head next. If I had to pick a top 3 for me, it would probably be Raw Fear, The Contract, Tally, and I'll give an honorable mention to Days Lie Dormant, right? And Cottonwood. I like that. That's a little bit all over the place too, But those are probably my 3 favorite. I feel like The Contract, just its intensity was great in the atmosphere of the whole album. That was probably my favorite, but I also really, really did Raw Fear. Those are my top 2 for sure. I feel like actually number 3, Tally, and then the other 2 honorable mentions of Cottonwood and whatnot are interchangeable, just on the given day, on the given mood. So I like that a lot as well. But honestly, I feel like with this album and more re-listens that are to come, your favorites, or my favorites, sorry, just honestly might shift, right? I feel like there's a lot packed into this. I mean, it's only a 45-minute album, so it's who knows what's to come, right? Who knows how things will change over time. But yeah, I like Breach. It feels like a great statement piece. It has moments of ambition. It's a little messy at times, but in a good way. It just makes it feel more alive and like human-like. Like, humans made it. It's the kind of record that I will want to go back to, especially in, months' time, and re-listen and re-experience. That's the beauty of this channel as well, is that I experience music I probably would have never listened to. And that goes for a lot of the stuff I've listened, not even just 21 Pilots, right? And so, yeah, that's just kind of the beauty in it for me, is, experiencing something I probably wouldn't have experienced without, and then, continuing to kind of expand on that experience and, just allow it to be a part of my life. But yeah, if you guys have been following 21 Pilots, please do let me know if there is anything else to come. I don't really know. I've just heard that it might be their last. If it isn't, it might be their last. But yeah, I'm fascinated. And if you guys want me to listen to the rest of their discography, please do let me know, because I'm definitely intrigued. I definitely am. But yeah, this was a pretty wild but fascinating place to jump into. Either way with that, it will be an album I think about for a while to come. But yeah, anyways, if you guys did enjoy that video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me grow. And also, guys, follow all my other socials. I stream all of these reactions live on Twitch. And yeah, thank you again especially if you made it this far, thank you. And drop a comment on what you guys want me to listen to next. But anyways, thank you again, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.